Hello students, from today we are going to start with the definite integration. In this, first we will learn fundamental theorem of integral calculus. Let f be the continuous function defined on closed interval ab, and if integration of f of x dx is equal to g of x plus c, then integration from a to b f of x dx will be given by g of x plus c, and the limits will be lower limit a and upper limit b. Now first we apply the upper limits. So in this g of x plus c, we will replace x by b. So we will get g of b plus c, minus in this x we will replace by a. So we will get g of a plus c. That means upper limit minus lower limit. Now if we open the bracket, then c will get cancelled and the answer will be g of b minus g of a. So we can say that integration from a to b f of x dx is equal to g of b minus g of a. In this integration a to b f of x dx, a is called as lower limit whereas b is called as upper limit. Now for example, integration going from 2 to 5 x square minus x dx. Now here the integration of x square is x cube by 3 minus integration of x is x square by 2, and then we will apply the limit. That limit we will write here. Lower limit is 2 and upper limit is 5. Now applying the limit, first we will apply upper limit, middle sign will be minus, and then we will apply lower limit. So replacing x by 5, that is applying upper limit, we will get 5 cube upon 3 minus 5 square upon 2 minus 2 cube upon 3 minus 2 square upon 2. Now if we open the bracket, then here we will get 125 upon 3 minus 25 upon 2 minus 8 by 3 plus, because minus minus will become plus, 4 by 2. Now simplifying these two terms, because denominator is same, that is 3, we will get 117 upon 3, and simplifying these two terms, because here denominator is same, we will get minus 21 by 2, and by taking LCM and simplifying further, the answer will be 57 by 2. Now let us discuss some fundamental properties of definite integration. Now these properties are very useful in evaluation of the definite integral. Now property number 1, integration a to a f of x dx is equal to 0. Means if in any question, if the lower limit and upper limit, both the limits are same, then the value of the integral will be 0. Now here we have a small proof regarding this property. Suppose we consider that integration of f of x dx is g of x plus c. Then by considering this integral, that is integration from a to a f of x dx, we can write answer as g of x plus c, and here we will write the limit, lower limit a and upper limit also a. Now applying the limit, that is first we will apply upper limit, middle sign will be minus, and then lower limit. But we know that both the limits are same, that is a. So in both the cases we will replace x by a. So g of a plus c minus g of a plus c. So answer will be 0. Now property number 2. Property number 2 tells us that integration a to b f of x dx is equal to minus of integration b to a f of x dx. That means if we change the position of the upper limit and lower limit, then we get the minus sign for the answer. Now here also we have a small proof regarding this property. Suppose we consider that integration of f of x dx is g of x plus c. Then for the given integration from a to b f of x dx, we will write the answer which we have considered, that is g of x plus c, and here we will write the limit, lower limit a and upper limit b. Now as our definition, first we will apply the upper limit minus lower limit, so g of b plus c minus g of a plus c. Now as c will get cancelled, we will get g of b minus g of a. Now suppose we write g of a first, then to keep the value of the function same, we need to write minus sign outside, so that when we will open this bracket, again we will get the same term. Now we know that this is nothing but integration b to a f of x dx, because if we simplify this integration by applying the limits, then definitely we will get the same term. So instead of this we can write this. So now we can say that integration a to b f of x dx is equal to minus of integration b to a f of x dx. Now for this, suppose we consider one example. Then see here, integration 1 to 3 x dx. Now suppose we simplify this, then we will get x square by 2, and here lower limit is 1, upper limit is 3. Now applying lower limit minus upper limit and simplifying, we are getting answer as 4. Now suppose we consider the same question, but we change the position of upper limit and lower limit. Then here we will write the answer for this integration, that is x square by 2, and lower limit is 3, upper limit is 1. Now according to the definition, first we will apply upper limit minus lower limit. So simplifying this, we are getting answer as minus 4. So property number 2 is very clear with this example, that if we change the position of lower limit and upper limit, then the value of the integration changes in sign. Now property number 3. Property number 3 tells us that integration a to b f of x dx is equal to integration a to b f of t dt. Now here means if we replace x by any other variable, then the value of the integration remains same. Here also we have a small proof regarding this property. Suppose we consider integration of f of x dx as g of x plus c. Now for the proof of this property, first we consider LHS. So integration a to b f of x dx. Now we will consider the answer of this integration, that is g of x plus c. Here we will write lower limit a and upper limit b. Now applying lower limit minus upper limit and simplifying, we will get g of b minus g of a. As we already solved this in previous example also. Now we call this as example number 1, equation number 1. Now we consider RHS. Now in RHS we have integral a to b f of t dt. Now as we have considered integration of f of x dx as g of x plus c, here we will write the integration of f of t as g of t plus c, and lower limit a, upper limit b. Now applying upper limit minus lower limit, we will get this term, and after simplification we will get g of b minus g of a. This is nothing but equation number 2. So from equation 1 and 2, it is very clear that the definite integration is independent of the variable. That means if we replace x by t, then also the value of the integral remains same. Now here we consider one example for this property. Suppose integration from pi by 6 to pi by 3 cos x dx. Now we know that integration of cos x is sin x. Lower limit is pi by 6, upper limit is pi by 3. Now applying lower limit minus upper limit minus lower limit. So sine of pi by 3 is 3 by root 3 by 2 and sine of pi by 6 is 1 by 2. Simplifying, we will get root 3 minus 1 by 2. Now suppose we consider the integral with the same lower limit and upper limit, but here we consider the variable t. Then in this case the integration will be sin t, but the limits are same, that is lower limit pi by 6, upper limit pi by 3. Now applying upper limit minus lower limit and simplifying, again we are getting the same answer, that is root 3 minus 1 upon 2. That means definite integration is independent of the variable. In next lecture again we will continue with the next properties. Thank you students.